Hi, Professor McDonald. I'm sorry I'm doing this in kind of a getaway, but I'm currently at my grandparents' house in Ontario, so I am having to kind of read off my slides and explain, and I'm being quiet because everybody's like resting. But this is how I'm gonna do it. Thank you for being so understanding. I am the one who worked with Big Brothers Big Sisters. I did the booster program, which is basically providing um, coupons for like local businesses, restaurants, entertainment, like zoos and stuff. To their volunteers, they were experiencing an issue where in the winter there was a lack of affordable activities to do, whereas like in the summer there are free parks, there are um, basically just free parks. It's easy, the kids get active, they can go play like sports and whatever. But in the winter, when it's really cold and there's not necessarily snow to play in, it's kind of harder for them to find stuff to do that doesn't break their bank because they're not reimbursed as volunteers. So they had a booster program in 2015. They sent me the documents from that, and so I reached out to those businesses first to see if they were interested in continuing. Some of them were, some of them weren't even in business anymore. Um, so a little bit of the history of Big Brothers Big Sisters. They began in 1904. They merged in 1997 with 357 other agencies. They made an international program in 98. They are in all 50 states and 12 countries. Um, they celebrated their 100th anniversary of the movement in 2004. And I worked with the branch in Southeast Idaho that is located by the mall. Now, the mission is to create and support one-to-one mentoring relationships that ignite the power and promise of youth. Their vision is that all youth achieve their full potential. And then I told you their problem. Winter retention goes down because they can't meet with the kids as often, and it's cold, and it's just harder for them to afford to do things like that. So the statistics that I found about retention was that 73% of bigs are able to see their little once a month, which is the minimum requirement for you to be a mentor in the BBBS program. The remainder at least set aside some time to speak to the littles on the phone. They believe that the most powerful form of mentorship comes from doing activities together in person because it builds a relationship. The big can get a better feel of like what's going on with the little, how they are, the vibes, I guess. And then 94% of bigs said they would benefit from the voucher program, and that it'd be easier to plan activities with their littles if they had vouchers. The last percentage of that, which is like 6%, are those that are able to meet on lunch, which is affordable, it's easy, they can play games at the school and blah blah blah. So those are the ones that just do the lunch. They're mostly people who make their own schedule, stay-at-home moms who do the program, things like that. So they're kind of an outlier to those who work full-time or aren't located near a school that their little goes to, etc., etc. So examples of boosters or vouchers, coupons for restaurants. I've reached out to restaurants like Idaho Pizza Company, smaller restaurants like Papa John's, or not Papa John's, Papa Joe's by the university. I reached out to restaurants specific to locations like Kuna, like Enrique's, and then like Nampa, the Indian Creek area, all that. So they service all those areas: Meridian, Boise, Kuna, Nampa, Caldwell, all of them. So I tried to get places that were located everywhere so they didn't have to drive very far. The more popular ones were for the zoo and the aquarium of Boise, but then I also hit places like Pojo's and Jump Time and Circus Tricks up because those places are really common with the kids and they really like them, and maybe they wouldn't be able to go do something like that if it wasn't for their big and this voucher program. So far, because I'm still working on them, the holiday season's kind of hard for these businesses, so I'm trying to give them time to get back to me. But of the 4 vouchers I was able to get, 7 out of 10 littles got to use them and enjoyed them since I gave them the information on how to use them. So they tried them out. They gave them to 10 pairs to see how they liked it, if it helped them, and 7 out of 10 got to use them before this project was due. And they said that it really helped. It gave them a better idea of what to do because I guess if you ask kids like what they want to do, they say, oh, I don't care, or whatever. Half of the companies that I reached out to were happy to provide vouchers right away. That included the aquarium and the Bass Museum of Boise, and the zoo already had a deal going on, so they said that they would help in the summer, but they gave me the deal, which is their winter hour deals. And then The other ones, like Boise Bicycle Project, they're so busy with their Christmas season that they weren't able to commit to something right away, but want me to hit them back up after the start of the new year. So that is when I'm going to be reaching back out to them. Um, and then they're always expanding. They're always wanting volunteers. In conclusion, but basically, when I went to their gala, because I can't ask anyone the questions here, they asked the audience, like, would you have benefited from a mentorship program when you were young? And I definitely would have. I grew up with parents who were kind of in and out of my life, and they weren't the greatest like role models in terms of like school and stuff. So it would have been nice to have someone in my life who was like, like your parents being bad at school doesn't mean that you're bad at school, and to kind of help me through things like that. I think I would have really benefited. I didn't even know this was a thing that I could have been a part of. I've thought of doing it and volunteering now though. I'm just kind of too busy while I'm in school, but I think like once I graduate, it's definitely something I want to do. Um, and there are other organizations that do this. There's one that specifically does like lunchtime, and it's all about like mentorship within like schools and like tutoring almost. And then this one's more just like mentoring and like life and being like a friend. Um, but yeah, it was really beneficial for me to work with a more corporate organization, get experience with, like structure and like proper communication channels and just relationships within the community. It was nice to see a nonprofit who had that going on. Um, but yeah, thank you so much for letting me submit it this way. I know it's kind of a rough semester, but I hope that I can keep this relationship with you in the future, especially if I get into this sector after I graduate. I might be hitting you up. But thank you.